Don't ask what's in my cup. Hey, it's Yay. Hey, it's Yay. Hello, everyone. It's Yay. Back with another episode of Don't Ask What's in My Cup. And today, I am back with another episode, interviewing another special guest, remembering our theme of Black love as well as Black History Month and just love in general. So keep that in mind. But before we get into any of that, make sure you are smashing that subscribe button and follow me on social media at Sipping with Yay. More specifically, follow me on Instagram at Sipping with Yay. That's Sipping No G-Y-E. Tune in. Now, without further ado, I have another special guest, and I'm going to pass it to her so she can introduce herself. So let's welcome her.
Well, I am Stephanie, and I'm a certified Master Force life coach. And I am all about my people, and I am all about Black love. So I am so happy that this is my episode.
Yes. So, what was your journey in life like? So, how did it all start career-wise? Where did you start, and now where are you?
Well, career-wise, I entered college thinking I wanted to be a lawyer. Absolutely not. The curriculum was not my lane at all. So I double majored in psychology and sociology. I went right into HR. That wasn't, I couldn't help my people enough in that lane. So I worked with children in a group home. Then I got my master's in social work. Then I just climbed my way up and was doing counseling for about 15 years in different sectors, schools, homes, all that. And that's what led me to be a life coach because it's more individualistic.
Okay, come on, journey. I also double majored in psychology and Africana studies, so and a minor in sociology. So I see. So what was that moment, that affirming moment for you that made you realize that like you're doing what you need to be doing?
When I took like a $35,000 pay cut to work with children. And within like the first 2 weeks, my supervisor was like, this is exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Exactly. And I was like, oh, dang, now I got to get a master's in it. So, yeah, that was the moment.
I love it. So what was some challenges that you faced that kind of discouraged you?
Um, I've had to learn patience every day, all day, again, over and over again, through each and every person, through each and every family, through patience is a big deal. And that's why society as a whole doesn't put a lot of money in people resources and helping people and building culture and awareness, because to get product from people, produce results, you have to be patient and you can't really put a time on it all the time. So I just have to remember that in my personal life, in my professional life. Um, yeah, that's a challenge.
100% valid. Cause I know I'd be like, okay, what's happening? What we about to do? I just gotta know what's going on. And sometimes it just take it easy, let it come to you.
We're a quick society. We're like a microwave society. We want results now. And that's like the opposite of who we are, what our nature is. It's just not what we're taught.
Okay. Well, what brings you joy about what you do now?
Growth, progress, movement, seeing the fruits of my labor. The people I work with having wider perspectives, just growth. And that makes me happy.
I feel that. before we transition to Black Love, do you have any advice for anybody that's like starting, just got their LLC, trying to figure out what they need to do next?
Be patient with yourself, and whatever you write down, because you still got to write it down and make it plain. Write it down with a pencil and erase it as many times as you need to.
I like that. I like that. I like that. Do you have any questions for me before I keep going?
You've completed the journey too. You just at a different position in it than me. So what advice would you give people, our people in working in our lanes? What advice would you give?
Two things. One, keep going. Just keep going. Stay consistent. I think that was probably my hardest thing because I want to try. And sometimes I don't give myself time to see the results because I'm like, I'm bored and I'm gonna keep going. But, and then just move on instead of keep going. We got to get more consistent in what we do. We may not see results tomorrow, but our impact is going to be way more severe and way stronger if we keep going. And then another one is just start. Because I know I'm really in my head all the time. The what ifs, the woulda, coulda, shouldas. And thinking about all the outcomes. And it kind of hinders me from starting a lot of things. So it's just start. Just start. Just start. And then you'll go from there. But you won't know until you press play. So, yeah. Those are my two. Moving into love. What do you love about Black love?
It's dope. It's the best. It's the best kind of love. It's explainable, but we say it's unexplainable because we don't challenge ourselves to be expressive. But Black love has so many levels. It has so many seasons. I love it. I love everything about it. I love the challenge of it.
Definitely. I love it too. It's different. It's just different. It hits different, like the song say. It hit different.
Yeah, it's soulful love. It's Black people love in a self-sacrificing way naturally. But we're still a challenging people. We still hold you accountable. We still have a standard. As nurturing as Black people are, we still have a standard that we hold each other to. And I see it all around me. My whole family's been married forever. And if they haven't been married, they've been in long-term relationships forever. So it's a privilege to watch it.
For the most part, I've really mainly experienced the communal Black love, like the community type of Black love. And I think it's like unconditional. I think that's the word that I like to call it, because it's like there are things that, you have expectations, like you said. There are expectations there, but I think the way that we love is still unconditional. So
to a level. To a level, I love it. I love even the downfalls of it. I love
it's real.
Kinks. Yeah, I love the kinks in it.
Yeah.
I love it all.
It's real. It's a real thing. It ain't like a fairy tale. It's not the like.
It's out loud when it's, it's an out loud love.
Yeah. I like it. It's legit. I like it. You have any other questions for me?
What would be your advice to Black love as a whole?
So, because a lot of times our love comes off as tough love or like not affectionate, I just would challenge us as Black people to lean into that affection and appreciate the fact that we deserve that type of love. Like, I think a lot of times we think that love is just like support or protection, and it's not always that. Love could literally just be like, you need a hug right now, I'm finna give you a hug. You hungry, I'm gonna feed you. Yeah, you just want me to sit right here while you cry, I'll sit right here.
More so like, I'm going to sit here while you cry.
Yeah,
I agree.
and I feel like sometimes we think it's weak to show that side of us, but I think that no, being vulnerable is a part of love.
That's a part of what we learned. That's what Western culture made us live by, to muzzle our emotions and to hide our pain and to, I mean, we've just been taught it for like,
and persevere, centuries. Just keep going. I'll never forget.
That's like, not the truth.
It's not. It's really not. I'll never forget like when I first learned what self-care really was, or like how white people use self-care and like take advantage of that. Yeah. And when I realized it, I said, you mean to tell me I could have did this entire time? I could call off because I just legit need a day. Yeah. Instead of like, I have to be sick or I have to have something to do to be able to call off. I could call off because I don't feel like myself. And I feel like that took some learning. Like, I didn't think that was a thing.
When I taught that, it's a cultural thing. And professionally, that's what led me to coaching, because counseling is still a westernized approach, and it's still a systematic purpose in westernized counseling. And I was seeing little Bobby and things in my early 20s, because little 7-year-old Bobby just wasn't feeling himself. And my little beautiful Shaniqua, who wasn't feeling well, was labeled delinquent, uncooperative. And I automatically had a blueprint to deal with the label behavior different than Johnny's just not feeling well. And it's like we taught our culture the same thing they taught us. Like, we taught us how to oppress our own emotions, just like society did. And it's a long road coming out of it. That's why patience is the biggest thing.
Yeah, you can't be mad because Shaniqua said you a bitch and be like, oh, I'm not talking to her. You can't just do that. You gotta be like, okay, Shaniqua, that's how you feel right now. But we need to talk about what's going on. Like, I'm gonna give you your 2 seconds. I'm gonna give you your 30 seconds.
And I'm gonna challenge you to more respectful conversation about those not so happy feelings you got as well.
Yeah, instead of projecting, let's tap in.
You could be mad. You are entitled to be upset. That's appropriate. But we ain't gotta do nothing else about it. Nothing like that, at least. We don't have to be disrespectful. We could just be upset.
Yeah.
But we're not validated in those places. We gotta chin up, put a smile on, get it together, do what you gotta do, get back to it.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's feel it so we can be our full selves.
So that we don't feel it like that next time.
Right.
We can process it out and take our time with it.
I agree.
And make sure it don't hit us that way next time, because life is life. It comes back. We got to be prepared next time.
Yep, I agree. Now, you kind of alluded to this, but what's one lesson that you hope that all of your patients or most of your patients tap into or get out of coaching with you?
I want them to just find a place to validate themselves more. Not the cooperative places, the pleasant places, but the yucky stuff. Like, I don't know, I'm confused, I don't like it, I'm uncomfortable, to be that in a healthy, positive way. You can have feelings you don't want. You can experience them in a positive way. And because our people so controlled and private, they don't get to fully express anything but the joy. Right. So I just wish that my people gave themselves permission to be emotionally healthy. Like in all emotions are healthy.
Feel everything, just feel it.
And it's okay. It's okay.
Cause I think I'm an emotional person. I know I am. I'm not even gonna say I think. I know I'm very emotional, and I feel like I was raised a lot of times to be like, what's wrong with you now? And it's like I don't know. I'm just feeling like I'm just in my feelings, and I don't think it's a problem. Sometimes you gotta let those feelings in so you can get to the root of it. If you pushing feelings away and picking and choosing what you want to feel, you're not letting it be what it needs to be. You're not having your natural process.
And you're robbing yourself from the lesson.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just wish my people believed in the full range of themselves, not just the parts they, work so hard at.
I agree. Because honestly, we all could write a book.
Yeah, it's self-love. I mean, Black love starts with self-love.
Yes.
And Black people gotta fall in love with themselves again and more.
And it needs to happen. It needs to happen because as much talent and beauty that's within our community.
That's most of our people.
Yeah.
But we so frustrated, mad, procrastinating, questioning, fitting in,
angry,
chilling,
hungry.
chilling. Yeah. I mean, we have so many reasons why we don't take off in love and life and in self. And I don't see no bars held in none of my people. I always be like, do it.
Right.
Do it.
And what was that process like for you? Or if you don't mind sharing, how was that process of like trying to love yourself and learning to love yourself like?
Whoa. I had
it took me there. I just had to.
How many minutes we got? Where's the time? I don't see no time on what's going on.
It's okay. Ain't no time. We'll cut what we need.
It was a journey. I had to like be brave enough to get it wrong a lot of times. And a lot of people are like really, really afraid to make mistakes and afraid to get it wrong or to show up wrong. And I don't really have that. I don't have that guard. Like, if I get it wrong, oh well. Like, now I got room to try something else. And at least I learned something by that chance I took or thought I could take. And like, I had to get it wrong a lot of times. I had to be mad at myself. I had to accept people being mad at me. And when you evolving and changing, depending on how long you've been comfortable, you're going to face some rejection as you get into that different discipline or that new character. And you have to be strong enough not to yield back to those, whatever ways you have. People pleasing, self-guarded, whatever you do, you have to be careful not to go back in those ways because it's comfortable, it's convenient, or it may be well received. So I just had to, it's a constant thing. I have to always not be scared to get it wrong. I have to always be brave enough to try anything that I think may benefit me. A different attitude, a new hairdo, cut it off, a new color, a new job, a new relationship, a new social circle. I have to be brave enough to do whatever that means, whether that's staying in the house and getting through conversations or quitting my job and pumping that resume out. Like, it just, whatever you want to do, you have to be brave enough to take the steps that you know, it's a 50-50 chance to come with some failure in those attempts, but it's okay. So I think that's what led me and continues to lead me on my journey. Like being completely unafraid to get it wrong. Like,
I like that.
I've tried so many things, so many positions, been to so many places, and then have looked back and said, like, dang, I did that, or I blah, blah, blah. And I'm just happy to say, yeah, I thought about it, I did it. This is what I thought about it, and move on to everything else in life. Instead of, I can't imagine wanting to do, see, be something for more than, you know, a short amount of time without starting to figure out how to execute that or get myself in that lane or network or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a continuous journey.
100%.
I don't know if it ever stops. I don't think so.
100%. It's definitely a process, and you gotta trust the process. I think my biggest thing is, one, getting out my own head. But with that, I tend to give a lot of good advice and not necessarily take that advice. And so it's kind of like, you know, listen to yourself. What you just said. I had just told one of my cousins, do you forgive yourself? And then I just thought about it. I'm like, do I forgive myself for a lot of the things that I've been through? And it's like, I'm giving this advice and I'm pouring into people. And it's like, now you're pouring to yourself the same way. Listen to what you got to say. Like, clearly you saying something. Now listen. And that's the hardest thing.
You know, and it's natural. And we don't need to, you know, beat ourselves up either as people. It's just being aware and continuing. I mean, maybe you missed something. Maybe you need to take a few steps back. Maybe you're trying to see if that's what you really want to do or who you want to be, or it's okay.
And it's okay. Now that's the point. It's okay. Like, okay, I made a left. I should have made it right. It's okay. Now just go make your right now. So
sometimes we'll go full speed ahead, and sometimes we'll cruise. Sometimes we'll stop. Sometimes we'll reverse. Like I said, write it with a pencil. Like, it takes a long time to submit things about life, because you might think you know something and you will turn 45 years old and be like, oh, this time I thought, you know, so you have to continuously be a sponge to life if you love it, you know. Now you can be hard and closed and leave it all out, but if you love life and people, you have to constantly be a sponge in a way. You need to have boundaries, but still
boundaries are important.
but still you want to stay, I personally want to stay relatable in a way to my people. So
I like that.
It's a journey.
I like that. Well, do you have any other last minute things that you want to share or shout out, shameless plugs?
No plugs. But we said word of the day and affirmations.
I was gonna say the word will be patience, but what you thinking?
Oh yeah, I'm with that. I'm with that all day.
Okay.
The word of the day could be affirmations. I mean patience.
Okay. So you heard it here. The word of the day is patience. Oh, thank you, Steffi, for coming on my show, speaking. I'm literally walking and looking and trying to make sure I do the things the right way, but also I appreciate you. I look up to you. I do value your journey because I do see a lot of myself in you. So
you got it all day. Anything I could do.
So I really appreciate you. So thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you all for tuning in. This is all I have. Don't forget to subscribe. I see you all that are watching without subscribing. You might as well go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Also follow me on Instagram at SippinWithYay. That's SippinOGYE. Go forward, shed love, shed light, and don't ask what's in my cup.